Hello everyone, we'd like to welcome you to the second annual Lake Havasu City Walk Away from Drugs, this year virtual. Thanks for attending. And we'd like to start this event off this year by welcoming a very special guest, Lake Havasu Mayor Cal Sheehy. He's always been a very firm supporter of YADA and is continuing to do so in prime fashion this year as he presents our proclamation of our second annual Walk Away from Drugs.
Thank you, Lori, and thank you for having me. Again, my name is Mayor Cal Sheehy, and I'm so proud of the work that YADA does. And even though we can only do it virtually this year, I appreciate the support of so many of our citizens. It's my honor to offer a proclamation from my office, the Office of the Mayor, naming and proclaiming this the second annual Walk Away from Drugs event on October 21st, 2020. Whereas today we gather virtually for the second annual Walk Away from Drugs event in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, to promote awareness, reduce stigma, and support prevention efforts for persons using drugs and alcohol as to save the lives of our city's youth and adults. And whereas substance abuse produces health risks, and whereas mild to moderate health problems are common in school, business, police emergency, and primary care settings. In fact, 1 in 5 have addiction or mental illness. And whereas the stigma of addiction may decline, and we now have a greater awareness of the need to increase access to prevention, intervention, and treatment. And whereas educating the community about the benefits of addressing the acute and chronic illness. And whereas to help achieve their mission, Prevention Young Adult Development Association of Havasu, YADA, coordinated this virtual Walk Away from Drugs event tonight, Wednesday, October 21st, from 6 to 6:30 p.m. on Facebook Live to spread awareness in hopes of realizing their vision of having a safe, drug-free Lake Havasu City. Now therefore, I, Cal Sheehy, Mayor of Lake Havasu City, Arizona, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, October 21st, 2020 as second annual Walk Away from Drugs event in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. And I encourage all citizens to get involved and participate in YADA's Walk Away from Drugs events to help spread awareness and make an impact on reducing drug and alcohol misusage in our community. Congratulations on your event.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. You know, whenever we go over that proclamation, I get a little emotional because the work we do is very powerful here at the Young Adult Development Association of Havasu. And that leads us to want to tell you a little bit about what we do. We don't just plan the walk away from drugs. We'll tell you a little bit more about that in a few minutes. But right now, we'd like you to know what our mission and our vision is as a coalition. And our mission is to bring knowledge and activity through active engagement of community members to facilitate the maintenance of healthy lifestyles for our youth and their families. Now, our vision is related to that, and our vision is to have a drug-free community that empowers and enriches the lives of our youth and families. You know, when you listen to those, you hear about our youth and our families, and YADA is for the entire family. Everything we do, the events, our meetings, the education that we gain doing this is all for youth and families. And even if it's an individual, every one of us is part of a family. And I think that's really one of the messages we want to show support for here as we do this event. It's a common theme, I think, that you'll find as we go over our PowerPoint. Yep. So what YADA does in our community is we look forward. But we want to tell you where we've been in order to move forward. And YADA was founded in 2009. And it was originally called the Young Adult Development Authority of Havasu. And we changed the name because we realized that as a bunch of adults sitting in a room, we may not be actually the authorities on young adults. And so we changed the name to Young Adult Development Association of Havasu. And it was designed to address the needs of our youth. And YADA addresses community-specific problems while also collaborating with nearby community coalitions to form a unified front towards increasing protective factors and decreasing risk factors for youth in the greater Lake Havasu City area and Mohave County as a whole.
Nice. And just to give you a little idea of some of the coalitions that YADA does work with, we have MAPPed out of Bullhead City, IMSTEP, which is county-wide, and the Meth Coalition out of Kingman. And unfortunately, due to the COVID-19, we were all unable to do our walk away from drugs in person. So we put together a little video message for you guys that we would like to play now, showing you all how we work together.
Hi, Mohave County. We have walked away from drugs and we invite you to join us.
There are so many ways to be happy, brave, and drug-free.
Our city has lots of opportunities to enjoy life with friends and families.
Community events, clubs,
and so much more.
Let's encourage our youth and community members to express themselves through positive outlets.
let's inspire each other to be happy by
living the life you choose,
making healthy choices,
by surrounding yourself with positivity,
be brave by
standing up for what you believe in,
setting safe boundaries,
and challenge yourself to overcome obstacles.
Be drug-free by respecting yourself,
staying strong,
setting an example,
spreading awareness to family and friends.
Join us, Mohave County, as we walk away from drugs.
Let's unite as a community
to be happy,
be brave,
be drug-free.
I hope you all enjoyed our community message. That was from community members in the county. We also wanted to give you an idea, for those of you that did not participate last year, of our past walk away from drug events. We also, last Mayor Calshini presented our proclamation just like he did this year. And then we had started back up at Wheeler Park and we marched down to State Beach where we had a live band. We had food, snacks, it was a free event. There was games for the community and it was just fun altogether. At the end, we had booths set up of resources in the community to show people what was available when they do decide to walk away from drugs, such as local agencies and just 12-step programs available.
And various forms of wellness to help people holistically, because again, part of what we look at is we just don't want people to just walk away from drugs. What are you going to do? How are you going to take care of yourself and provide, all those positive factors that keep you healthy? And that's really what YADA does. And these events are a way that we show that, and it really is enjoyable to plan these.
Yes. So next year, we're hoping you all join us again in person for our walk away from drugs. Yes. Another event that we have a lot of fun with is our Hobbies, Not Habits. And this event is one that we partnered with Arizona Youth Partnership and Mohave Community College. This was also a free event that we provided for the community where we introduced hobbies instead of unhealthy habits to show the kids out there that there's other things going on except drug use. So what we did is we had various community members come in and show their hobbies to the youth, and we had lots of art booths, we had some karate, we had music, there was all kinds of vendors. I'm sorry, I'm having mask issues. And then Wanda here, and we had to actually give giveaways and let's see what else, donations. I mean, it was just a lot of fun. The kids had a blast. I mean, we had a BMX stunt show at the beginning of it. The kids really enjoyed it. We gave away a BMX bike.
Families did projects.
Yep, families did project. There's a lot of family events together. And Wanda here, she is a member of YADA also, but she also had a booth. So do you want to go ahead and talk about your experience?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I set up a tie-dye event for the children. We did over 2,000 tie-dye handkerchiefs.
Wow.
And it was a great event, a great time, and I really enjoyed it.
Cool. And another thing we'd like to talk about is our mall window display. This is something else we like to do with our members, including our youth members, is we get to go out to the mall and we have a huge display that the mall basically donates to us. We get to provide messages out there for Red Ribbon Week or whatever else we have going on. Do you want to talk a little bit about that also, Wanda? We just did this last week.
We just did this last week. There were 4 gigantic windows that we decorated. The Red Ribbon Week is to be happy, be brave, and be drug-free. And it is one of the largest drug prevention campaigns in the nation. So we decided to do a Halloween theme this year. So some of the windows might say boo to drugs or drug free is a key. Some of them that we did were for families, education, and the communities. And we had one window that was for doors that said, walk away from drugs can open many doors for you. Go out if you have a chance. If you live in Lake Havasu, go check out the windows. They might be glowing in the dark.
All right, guys. The next thing we have is a very special part of our event. We have some very brave people that have stepped forward and to share their stories with you. Stories of hope and the stories of how they walked away from drugs and how their lives have changed, and their message of hope to people out there that are still struggling. These messages are just absolutely amazing, and I can't wait for you to hear them. So please join us as we hear these testimonies from our community members.
Hi guys, my name's Jamie, and I have been asked to share a little bit of my story with you. I grew up in an alcoholic home. My father was a biker, and he drank a lot and was very violent. And in that lifestyle, it creates in you a lot of fear and anxiety and chaos. You never knew what you were going to walk into when you got home. And so as a teenager, I tried to stay away from home as much as possible. And by doing that, I had a lot of time to make a lot of my own decisions. And in that process, I made a lot of decisions that weren't beneficial for me. You know, I started smoking pot and drinking at a really young age. I started popping prescription medications from a doctor as a teenager. And by the time I was 21, 22, I was heavily addicted to prescription drugs. And I made a bad decision and committed a felony crime to try to supply myself with the medications that I needed to stay well. I went to prison for that choice, and I spent a couple of years in prison. And, I came home and I didn't think that I was a drug addict. I just thought that I was someone who made some bad decisions and got into some trouble. But the reality was I just didn't know that I was a drug addict yet, and eventually as life progressed and I still had none of that knowledge, I fell back into taking prescription medications. I remember being so addicted to prescription drugs that I was purchasing them on the streets, and it was becoming so expensive that the next best option for me was heroin. And it's got to be pretty messy up here for you to think in your mind that a drug like heroin is the right choice for you, but I wasn't well, and I couldn't see that. I became heavily addicted to heroin and also methamphetamine, and I became an IV drug user. I couldn't get out of bed in the morning without filling a needle up and shooting up drugs. I couldn't function. My brain was so wrapped up in the getting, the using, and finding ways and means to get more. Nothing else mattered than that. And my life crashed majorly, and I spent some more time in jail. And by this time, the drugs had taken me so low that I was alive, but I was wishing that I was dead, and being at that point, I finally realized that something had to change. Something had to change. I was in so much pain. Something had to change. And so I entered a sober living home in Kingman, Arizona, and I really started to work a program called Narcotics Anonymous. And I really started to attend this program called Celebrate Recovery at church. And I found people that were just like me, drug addicts, trying to find recovery, and empty people that were searching for something to save them, for God to save them. And I got really involved in those programs, and I surrounded myself with people that believed in me and loved me when I didn't believe and love in myself. And And my life has changed. You know, in the last year, my life has been filled with blessing after blessing. I've gotten my children back. I have a career today. I'm self-employed as a hairdresser. You know, my life is continuing to grow and change, and it's because I finally made a decision that drugs weren't the answer for me, and that I needed to find another way of healing. So listen, if you're out there and you're listening to this video and you're thinking to yourself, that can never happen to me, I'm here to tell you it can. And what can also happen is a choice, and you can make a choice today to do something different than what you have been doing. And there are people around who are willing to help you. So please just reach out. There's another way. Thanks for letting me share my story.
Wow, that is such a powerful testimony and story. Thank you so much for sharing, Jamie. That takes a lot of strength. And I remember I had heard Jamie's story at church, and when we were planning this event, I was like, we have to have this woman come and speak at this event because she has such an amazing story. So I thank you for coming to share at our event. We have another testimony coming right up.
Good morning. My name is Tammy, and this is my walk away video. I have been clean and sober for 18 years. What helped me was the support of my family, friends, community program. And for me, I had reached a bottom. No job, no future. My children, family wanted nothing to do with me. I had lost everything. I was homeless. I was addicted. And that was all that mattered. I was addicted. One day, I was walking by a window and I just happened to see a reflection of myself. And I looked horrible. I was a walking skeleton, no desire to live. And then one day, I met somebody when I was sitting on the bus stop, and they asked me if I was hungry. Of course I was. They said they would take me to lunch if I would just attend a program with them, just for the day. Smartest move I ever made. From that day forward, my friend was there. And I had support. I found a meeting that worked for me. And with work, I started making progress with my family as well. I rebuilt the connection that I had destroyed. And I started working on myself. I know you can do this, and I know it will be hard. But just remember to reach out to your family, friends, a program. It's possible. I did it. And I did it 18 years ago, and now there is just so much more help out there. Please reach out, walk away, save your own life. You can do this. Thank you.
And what a powerful message this was as well. And, you know, it's very impressive when you hear that story and the struggles that Tammy has, and that she now has 18 years clean and recovered. Yes. And, you know, is still very strong and passionate about that, about what she overcame and how people can find that, just as Jamie is, with being so new in her recovery as well. And now we have one more testimonial we'd like to share with you with somebody who has also found his path and like to share his story with you.
Hello, my name's Griff, and I'm an addict. Just a little bit about myself. I've been an addict for over 30 years, and been to prison multiple times, been to very dark places in my life over and over again for very long periods. I I was given the opportunity for treatment like 5 times, never took. I always just wanted to manipulate my way through it so I could get back out and use again. After my 5th prison term, I was looking at some pretty serious charges and came to the conclusion that I didn't want to do it anymore. You know, my son needed a father, and I was tired of living a life where I was constantly shaming myself. So I told myself I was going to take advantage of it, you know, and I humbled myself, and I looked to a higher power for help, you know, and I guess you could say I had a spiritual awakening. While I was in treatment, I learned that I didn't need to do it by myself, and there was a way out, and I decided to give it my all, and I did. I now have over 2 years, almost 3 years clean. You know, while I was in treatment, I was told to get a sponsor and get involved with the 12-step program, and I did. I got into the Narcotics Anonymous program, and I got right in the middle of it. You know, I got a sponsor, and I worked the steps, and I began to find myself again, and I learned how to love myself again, and how to be a father and a partner, and so on and so forth. You know, today I'm happy. I don't want to hurt other people. I don't want to hurt myself. For people that are struggling right now, you know, just find a program and get in the middle of it. You know, recovery is possible. Thanks.
Wow. Thank you, Griff, and thank you to all of our community members that shared their story with us tonight. Those are some powerful messages, and one thing I noticed everybody had in common was that they never thought they were going to be able to get clean, and they did not think that they were worthy or that it was going to happen to them, and they all managed to do that and stay clean. So that's giving some hope right there to some people out there that are still struggling. So that's some good stuff.
It really is.
Yes. Another thing that we wanted to go over in closing tonight was a big project that we did this year. It was something that we wanted to provide the community, was one place that they can go to find resources in the community. So whether like someone's new to the area or they just don't know what's out there, we created a resource page. So some of the things on there we created are stuff like for food assistance, housing assistance, healthcare, substance abuse treatment, domestic abuse, and I'm going to show you our website and how to get there. It is YADAH'S.org. And once you're on our website, you just click on our resources tab. And the first one we're going to look at is the resources that help. And if you scroll down there, you can see right here on the left of all the different resources that we do offer. And then if you scroll down a little more, you can see food assistance, and then it'll tell you where to go to get that. And then if you keep scrolling down, it'll tell you like housing assistance and healthcare, mental health, and so on and so forth. So there's quite a bit of stuff on there for you to look at. In addition, we also have resources for the youth. So if somebody's new in town and they're not sure what's going on for the youth, there's a place here where you can go and look at all the activities going on. And, oops, did I just go there?
Oh, let's see, scroll down a little bit.
Oh, I thought I went there. No?
I think you're there. Research.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And then another thing too is if, like, you know, your kid's playing too much video games and you want to find them something productive to do, you can come right on the site and take a look what's out there for them.
Right. They have organizations, groups, coalitions, and sports and actual activities. So it's they also have coalitions, so you can join YADA if you want. We would love to have you.
Yes, we encourage youth members to join us, like for the mall window and stuff like that.
Right, ready? If you see this and you're like, I can help them do that better, you could be a YADA member.
Yes. Oh. Okay, so now I need to bring up the PowerPoint so I can show Ricardo's info. Oh, there we go.
All right.
Sorry, guys. Okay, so the last one we wanted to show you is the contact information. Our dear friend Ricarda could not make it here tonight. We miss her deeply. Ricarda, if you're watching, we wish you were here very much, and you're in our thoughts and prayers. And if you are interested in joining YADA and joining all of the fun that we showed you tonight, please reach out to us via phone or email, or check out our site. There's a contact information there. You can drop your email and we'll get in touch with you. Also, if you would like more information on resources or anything else that we can help you with, we would be more than happy to do that. So just please reach out.
If you have a need that is not on our resource page, reach out to Ricarda and we will do what we can to find that resource for you.
Thank you for joining our virtual event, and we hope to be in person next year.
All right, see you next year.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, Wanda. And
thank you, Nathan Adler.
Yes.
We could not have done this without you.
Yes. Yes, the man behind the scenes.
Yes.
Thank you so much.